There's only one view from where Kelvin Tyler's standing, and that's up. The latecomer to the training ranks could arguably lay claim to being the most southern-based thoroughbred trainer in the world. But for Tyler, being tucked away in the tranquil seaside town of Riverton is just fine, thank you very much.
Back in a plate, I guess that's why they call it God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise sitting back.
Kelvin, we're out on your home track, Riverton. It's an incredible race course, this, and you rate it right up there with the best in the south.
Yeah, I believe it's, without being one, I'd probably the second best track in the South Island behind Riverton, I believe. Beautiful big roomy track, and yeah, probably the location, I suppose, it trips a few up, but as far as a race course concerned, it's certainly up there.
It must be a logistical challenge for you training out of the bottom of the South Island, because virtually every race meeting outside of twice a year here in Invercargill, there's travel involved.
Yeah, everything's kind of that way. But no, look, you know, so I've got me farms here, and family, and you know, grandkids and things like that. So you know, it's always going to be home to me. So you know, I've thought about moving out, and at this stage we're just quite happy doing what we're doing. And yeah, the travel, you know, as long as you're organised, it's, you know, you can get used to it. So it's not such a major thing in the end.
Have you got better at it, and what have you learned over the years around what suits best for your team? Say, for example, going to Riverton. Did you originally go up the night before? What do you do now?
Yeah, probably started going up the day before at Riverton, but I find it's best to go up 2 days before that first night. You know, they might eat, you know, 2/3 of their tea kind of thing, and I find that second night they kind of, you know, feel at home, and they eat up way better. I'm always trying to leave, you know, a bit early in the morning, say, you know, anything from 4 to 5 o'clock in the morning, try and get to Riverton, which is 8.25 hours away, try and get there by about midday. Then the horses can have 2 feeds in the day, and those sorts of things. So yeah, it seems to work best for me.
It's no surprise that Kelvin Tyler is thinking only of what's best for his racing team. He's a self-confessed animal advocate, having been raised on a dairy farm in the heart of the Waikato.
Kelvin, Matamata born and bred.
Yep. Born there, 1965, Greg.
One of 4 boys.
Yeah, I'm the second one, and the best looking, as you mentioned before. Yeah, no, we had a great upbringing, and yeah, great place to start my career, I suppose.
Yep, grew up on the farm. Tell me about mum and dad. How was life back then? Because it wouldn't have been easy.
No, we probably as children probably didn't realise probably how hard it was, but we didn't really notice it because we got, you know, the best upbringing, really. You know, 4 boys. Poor old mum. Yeah, she didn't have it easy. But no, I had the family farm there, 92 acres. But, you know, it's not a big farm, but yeah, certainly we all got well involved in it and worked together. And no, we didn't lack for nothing as children.
Steve, growing up in a house full of boys, she would have been some pretty awesome games of backyard rugby, I'm picking.
Yeah, there was a few test matches and a bit of blood. I can tell you, we're all stubborn as each other, and none of us gave in.
Dad was pretty handy with the horses. How much of an influence has he played, not only on Kelvin's training career, but your own?
Massive, yeah. Dad's been massive to me. And obviously Kelvin and Alan and my brothers, Philip as well. From day dot, involved with racing and just loved it. And I've got one thing I've taken out of it, and I thank my dad for, was Dad and my uncle Noel Howard raced horses, and they had a set of colours, and those are the colours I'm racing today. I re-registered them, and they're my stable colours as my dad. So, and it still means a lot to me today when they win. I always think of thank you, Dad and Uncle Noel. It's just amazing.
So Ken and Val, mum and dad, and both still follow, particularly the racing side of thing, with great passion. Your dad's the reason you got involved in thoroughbred racing, though, isn't he?
Yeah. I remember when I was just a child, he used to breed a few horses with one of the neighbours there, and to be honest, pretty slow. In fact, very slow. So kind of got out of that breed, and then he kind of started leasing a few, and he had a bit more success, I suppose. But he certainly started us off, and yeah, it's all his fault. But it's something that we kind of, as years got on, we really enjoyed it, and yeah, love of the horse and the animal, I suppose, and carried on from there.
Is that it, Kelvin, the passion for the animal, which dovetails into the horses, but have you always been an animal lover?
That's all I ever wanted to do, going through school. You know, I wasn't the brightest at school, and you know, all I wanted to do was farming, and yeah, I couldn't wait till I was 15, and the day I was 15 was probably one of the happiest days in my life. I was out of there and had jobs sorted, and kind of went on from there, but no, I've always been an animal lover.
Yeah, so what school? Matamata?
Went all through Matamata Primary, Matamata Intermediate, Matamata College,
Yep.
and everything there, and kind of lived the first 27 years of my life in Matamata, and great place to you know, to be brought up, central to everything, and you know, racing was really good there, and yeah, it was really good head start.
And race days at Matamata were big occasions.
Yeah, I remember years ago, you know, you could only get a car park and go to, just on an average day, car park would be full, and you know, there's big turnouts, and you know, you just wouldn't miss a meeting.
Yeah.
So not just Matamata either, you know, you drive anywhere within an hour just to go to the races.
Having three brothers, Alan, Stephen and Philip, I'm picking there would have been some decent games of backyard rugby. Was that your chosen sport?
Yeah, definitely the chosen sport. Yeah, rougher the better. Yeah, and I suppose they're not really here to defend themselves, but yeah, I was used to it all the time as well. So yeah, but no, that was good. Yeah, good fun, and yeah, kind of miss those days a bit sometimes.
Yep. What sort of footballer was Kelvin? I'm picking he was pretty tough.
Oh, Jesus. Am I allowed to tell the truth?
Yeah.
He never run second, I can tell you. There was
Yep.
a bit of a swing up.
Yep.
He played a bit of loose forward and a lot in the front row, but no one beat him in the front row, mate, I tell you.
Yep.
I remember one, Argentina was in Rugby Park in Hamilton, actually. It was a curtain raiser to a decent game over there. And him and his Argentina in the front row having a fair ding on go.
Yep.
And the bloody Argentina guy, prop, Kelvin got the better and was given a bit of a doing, and the next minute the props swapped sides. And so Kelvin been pretty quick, thinking, oh yeah, something up here. And next minute this dirty bugger brought the knee up into Kelvin. Well, he's most probably still having nightmares, this bloke. So
Pretty tough.
tough,
Yeah.
tough.
I played all through the high school, and you know, local clubs and things like that, and you know, played quite a bit of rep rugby for the rep teams, and yeah, I used to hold my own on the rugby paddock.
Yeah. What position were you?
Oh, early days I was kind of loose forward, but when I was close to 20, I was actually used to play a bit of prop actually. So yeah, used to quite enjoy that, and yeah, used to. Dad, he actually played for Waikato Juniors back in the day, so he was actually a front row himself, to be honest. So spent a few days and nights in the kitchen floor, teach me how to prop. So yeah, so no, I used to hold my own, and used to really enjoy it.
Yeah. But you've turned your hand to most sports as well. You were telling me it doesn't really matter what you love to compete.
No, it doesn't matter whether it's, you know, tennis racket, squash racket, golf club.
Yep.
You know, we just have a go, and you know, just enjoy that. I think that's pretty important in life, is play a bit of sport and get out and get the lungs burning, and you know, test yourself.
About around the horses, because he seems to have this innate ability to communicate with his horses without saying anything. Is that fair?
Yeah, that'd be true. He sits back and reads a lot, not in book work, but reads his stock. He watches. It's a bit like me. We watch our horses work, and a lot of riders get off and tell you what you want to hear, but we just think opposite.
Does that go back to the cows and the farm
you read
days?
your stock. You can read your stock, and you know if they're not right. You dry cows off early, or whatever you got to do. But same with the horses. You know if they're eating and their work-wise, you just watch them. You just know if they're not quite there.
What about horse-wise, your earliest memories? We've got a shot here of you riding the pony.
Yeah, old Pinky, that was the first one. We all nagged the old man. We wouldn't mind getting the pony, but yeah, he got this pony, and to be fair, we didn't know how to ride, and I think she had more fun than us at some stage. But yeah, after a while, we got her going, and yeah, poor old Pinky, we used to get her sweating up a bit and had a bit of fun on her, and yeah, like most things though, after after a year or two, she sits in the paddock, and we moved on to other things, I suppose. But no, she was the starting point for us.
What about the shift down south? When did that idea come to mind?
Well, we share milked, which we owned the cows and we didn't own the farm, so we share milked probably from age about 17 I was then, and yeah, we went from farm to farm and trying to better ourselves, I suppose. And
Make a dollar?
Yeah, but with milk, we was up to about 200 cows, which is a reasonable size herd, but just couldn't really get on the good farms, on hard farms, and it was pretty competitive back then trying to get on a good farm. So kind of got to the stage where I said to my wife, I said I reckon we should go down south, have a look down there. I used to get the farming magazines and see the farmland and things like that, and see the production they're doing. I said, it must be something down here. So let's just have a go. So we jumped on a plane. It was 10th of March 1994 it was. Come down, and it was the first bit of snow on the mountain. It was freezing cold anyway, but the farms looked good and the stock looked good, and I said, look, let's just back ourselves and come down. And originally he said we'll come down for 5 years, make a few bucks and go back, but that was 25 years ago I suppose now, and we just loved the place and it's been really good to us. So we come down, had to, it was a sheep milking job with that one as well, milking about 500 cows, and had to convert a lot of that. So that first winter we just ripping down fences, and sheep fences, 7-wire sheep fences with concrete posts every 5 metres, and we worked pretty hard that winter, and
But you learned to work from a young age, so
Yep, no, we've always been taught to learn, and used to pick up hay and things like that as teenagers, and used to not scared of a bit of manual labour.
So that was with your first wife Avalon, and you probably got married 5 years before you came down here. What about the kids? When did they sort of come to fruition?
Yeah, no, we had kids pretty early actually. Kind of, we thought early on we'll have kids and grow up with them, which we pretty much have done really. We'd spent a lot of time going out and having a few drinks and a few laughs with the kids, and there's probably grown up as mates really.
Yep. So Jason was first.
Jason was first.
Yep.
Yeah. Then Michael and Amy.
And Amy.
Yeah.
Special time in your life.
Yep. No, good kids.
Yeah.
No, they're pretty proud of my children. So.
Yep. We'll get to Amy, who's gone into partnership with you. What about the other two boys? Because once you've got into the share milking, you always wanted to have your own property. So when did that eventuate?
Well, we got our own property year 2000. We bought our own property. Just was a neighbouring farm where we were share milking down south, and just a middle-aged couple, and we got really friendly with them. They pretty much were the grandparents of the children at the time, so we were really, really friendly. And when time come, we were able to buy their farm, and then we, went.
How many acres, mate? Yep.
The original was 320. Then we bought a bit next door, and it's up to 500, and that was just a sheep farm then. So we had to do the conversion again. So ripping out the fences, putting in laneways, and it was a big job, massive job actually.
Yeah.
But certainly rewarding.
That was about the time when your first marriage ended, and that was a massive change in your life.
Yep. Yeah, that was about 2010, I suppose. We'd not long just built a new house on the farm. Had probably everything we wanted really, but probably had too much spare time then. And that's when we started coming to the track with a few horses, and met Rebecca, and probably wasn't one of my proudest moments, but things happen, and 5 or 6 years later, things changed again. So it was a bit of a tough time at the time.
You've still got a great relationship with Avalon though, which is a testament to you both, really. You're still good mates.
Yep, that's how I like to keep it. And I'd done the wrong thing, but I just like to see you happy, and I always said, whenever you need help, I'll be there to help you. So got 3 children together and married for 27 years. So I still help it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Then just last week helping it with the young horses, and Yep, I'm quite happy to do that, and no, it's a good relationship.
Sunrise sitting back in the 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a Vin-Fam Dixie whistling.
And behind those, the Tommy Rules. Call Me Al continues to run on. Campion Road's back behind those. It is still all emotional. Tommy Rules on the outside, slogging that chair. Tommy Rules gets to the front. No Emperor's coming powerfully down the outside, but towards the line, Tommy Rules. Tommy Rules just gets there. No.
Tommy Rules, I think, was it win number one?
Yeah, he was my first winner. It was at Gore, Christmas at the race meeting, I think it was. Yeah, and just before, late December it was. So, yeah, that was, I remember it was heavy 11, I think, and you know, I think he ran down the track at the previous start at Invercargill, and I don't know, I was probably still learning, and horse was probably far lap, I didn't know it. But anyway, he won that day, but he didn't win many races, and you know, he gets first one day and last the next. But anyway, that was a big thrill for me that day, winning his first race, and yeah, I'll never forget that.
There's the winner, Tommy Rules, and it's on the another one, $29.60 and $5.50. He shouldn't have paid that. Anyway, it has.
What about some of that early success? Tell me about some of the horses you had, because they weren't that fashionably bred.
No, I used to quite have a bit of pleasure on going to the sales and buying the cheap ones and trying to beat the dear, well-bred ones really. So, yeah, the first few horses, yeah, they kind of held their own, had a bit of success, and yeah, I think Awesome Doodle was probably one of the better ones I had earlier that probably didn't really see the much of. He hurt himself. He's a Cool Cat was probably the one that got me started. You know, I bought him from the Ready to Runs. He only cost $11,000, but he was probably the one that really got me going.
Ian Charles, and he's a Cool Cat who's scorching away from them now. Go Georgia, and back behind those then to Stardust. He's a Cool Cat, is going to absolutely hammer them. He's a Cool Cat by 8 at the line, 7
I think he won his maiden race by 10 lengths on the Saturday. Then he came out and won the Southern Derby by 6 lengths 2 days later with Daniel Stackhouse on. Yeah, that was a big thrill. He was only 3 years old at that stage. Little wee horse, wasn't much to him, but he was pretty tough.
He's a Cool Cat. He's pushed the turbo button. He's off and away again here. Over Les Chantre, who's battling out the Mighty Money with Pinch on the outside. He's classy, isn't he? He's a Cool Cat. Blame them again. Pinch.
That was a good example of your philosophy around giving people a chance. Daniel Stackhouse has gone on to do some very good things, both sides of the Tasman. But at that stage, he needed a leg up, and you were there to do that for him. Yeah,
I think at that stage, I think Daniel was claiming maybe 3 kilos, I think, and just, I guess, just a normal 3 kilo claimer, I suppose, and yeah, give him a chance and come out, won a couple of good races, and we actually took that horse up to North Island, had a wee campaign up there, and he came up, I flew him up to ride them, and yeah, a bit of exposure, I suppose, and kind of went on from that, but yeah, great attitude, Daniel, and that's why he's riding where he is.
You talked about learning off people. Who are some of your mentors? Who are some of the people that Kelvin Tyler's learnt his training method, or in many ways are you self-taught?
No, I'm self-taught. I really didn't learn off no one really. I just learnt by my mistakes, but there's certainly trainers that I would love to go and spend a bit of time in their stables. I'm talking about the Jimmy Gibbs, the Noel Eels, Murray Baker, you know, those masters, you know, those old school trainers, Cecil Beckett, you know, they're real, you know, probably just trained by the eye, I suppose, more, and I believe, and, you know, just read the horse. You know, these days the vets in most of these stables every day, and you know, you don't know who's training them. Is the vet training them, is the machines training them, or the humans training them? So, but yeah, I like to keep it old school and just learn from my mistakes. You know, listen to your horse. You know, the feed bin's got quite a bit to do with it, especially after a gallop. You know, it tells you quite a bit, and you just, things like that really. You're
not a vet man at all. In fact, unless you really need them, they don't come through the gate.
No, unless I need x-rays or scans. If I can't fix it, they won't fix it. So it's pretty, you know, just animal health. I'm just same on the farm. You know, just read your animal and, yeah.
Happy horse, they'll perform for you.
Happy horse, yep, happy horse, and it gets you there most of the time.
You can see by the way when you walk past them, they one, know who the master is, but two, I can't say they're smiling, but they're happy to see you, aren't they? You have a real affinity with them, don't you?
Well, so they should. I pay for their feed every day. Don't bite the hand that feeds you, Greg. No, you know, got to be kind to them. Got to be kind to them because you know, they're quite a smart animal. You know, if they're not happy, they won't run. So if you want them to let down and try for you, they've got to be happy. And yeah, it seems to work for us. So let's see how I like to keep it.
Jessica sitting on the outside, point proven, going okay, they both are. And behind those two, Sally Get Your Gun starts to rally along the fence. And then behind those then is Carlton Princess and Lady Platinum. Lady Jessica the outside and Point Proven. They sort themselves out. Lady Jessica, Point Proven kicks hard on the inside, and Point Proven beats Lady Jessica.
Kelvin, with racing, there's always inherent danger for both horse and jockey. You've been through a pretty tough period in your life when you lost your ex-wife and Rebecca Black. We're at the Riverton racecourse where Sam McRae passed away as well. How does it affect you going to Gore now? Does it, when you're driving up the road going there, I guess there's probably only one thing on your mind?
Yeah, certainly think about it quite often. But I don't know, I guess we just got to move on best we can and try and, you know, don't forget, but try and put it behind us and go forward. I think that's what Rebecca would, you know, she died doing what she loved doing, so I'm pretty sure she'd be quite happy for people to keep doing what we're doing. And yeah, certainly a tough day that was.
You gave her a chance in terms of riding. It would be fair to say that she was one of the older apprentices that we probably ever had, but she could ride and you could see that in her, and she had a real passion for the horses.
Yeah, well, she used to do all my track work riding back in the day before we really met, and certainly a great rider, yeah. And as time went on, yeah, she wanted to kind of do her apprenticeship again, and she had to have a 6 month stand down. She got in a bit of trouble here with a couple of the locals, and you know, she got suspended for 6 months before she was allowed to ride and even get on the racetrack actually. So I said, oh well, let's just make this happen. So got quite a few horses and thought, well, let's give her a chance. You know, there's only one way to do things is do it properly. So got her licence, and yeah, I've got about probably 15 horses in work at that stage, and give her a real good kickstart. And the first race day ride was at Riverton on Grand National meeting, first day there. Got second in a rating 85 race. I think she paid about $12 or $15 a place, so that was a great start. Then she was lucky enough to win. It was on He's a Cool Cat, then won on him on the Wednesday.
But it's He's a Cool Cat going up and down in the one spot, but they all are, and He's a Cool Cat won it by 5. Beat Flying.
Man.
It was a great performance today off the back of that first day run. Pretty confident when the rain came.
Very confident when the rain came. Yeah, it's just awesome. He got pushed into all that heavy stuff you want to avoid and won.
Big thrill to be winning at a carnival like this.
It's a dream. It's a dream. Thanks, whoever's helping me out, but thanks.
Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
I think I was lucky enough to interview her after that race, and I just remember how infectious she was, and you know, how proud she was. She even mentioned her kids, said hi to them during the interview, and that's the type of person she was.
Yeah, she absolutely loved her kids. Her kids were everything to her, and she loved the horses too. That was her happy spot. You know, if she's having a bad day, once she's on top of a horse, she was just a different person. And yeah, I've got to be honest, she's probably one of the best riders I've ever had to do with my horses actually.
Yep.
Took a good horse to get her off. That's why I was a bit surprised what happened actually on the day, because she's always said if there's a horse going down, I'm going down with it. So
right.
Yeah, kind of thing. But no, very good rider. Great. I've seen horses back here for 100 metres, and she sticks to them.
Stuck to them.
Yeah. So yeah, and to be fair, probably learnt quite a bit off Rebecca as well. So she had a good upbringing with Cecil Beckett, and learnt from one of the masters. So she certainly had a bit of knowledge, and certainly take that on and try and add to it. But no, she was a great start to my training career.
She lost her life doing what she loved, and she was on a horse called Point Proven. That probably sums it up, doesn't it?
Yeah, he was a big horse too, yeah, true. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those days that just never thought it would really come, but anyway, it's because we just move on. Yeah.
Her kids, they're still here in Riverton, or the house where you guys set up?
Yep, I think the second boy, he lives in there. The oldest boy, Sebastian, he's in town.
Yep.
And he's got a wee son, which Rebecca didn't get to meet, which she would have been a great grandmother. But he's doing an apprenticeship in there, and he's, the kids are doing really well actually.
Yep.
So you see Lily a bit, and she's really grown, maturing. So Rebecca would be very proud of what she's developed.
Keep the Courageous up against the outside rail and making ground now. 100 metres to go. Karaka Jack leads by a half a length. Keep the Courage a danger. Karaka Jack still in front. Keep the Courage comes. They hit it. Oh, they're very wide apart. It might be Keep the Courage in a photo.
He's much more mature mentally and he's able to cope a lot better with what's dished up to him. And he's just a great horse. We all love him so much, and thanks to his owners.
Outside of this one church town, there's a gold dirt road to a whole lot of nothing. Got a deed to the land, but it
Let's talk about some of your success stories. 2 horses that stand out in your career. One we absolutely never saw the best of, but you tell me she's the best you've ever had, Hayley Marie.
Yeah, without a doubt, she's the best by miles actually, but she only probably spent her first maybe half a dozen starts. She was pretty sound, and after that we just couldn't get a sound, and yeah, it was just unfortunate. She was just a freak. She was a horse that I believe could have taken to Australia and competed with the best.
What did she cost?
$1,000. Yeah, I think I bought her an hour after Timmy. He cost $3,000, but yeah, she was definitely the best horse I've had, and we give her a bit of time too. She didn't race until she was 4. Because, she was a bit late maturing, and, so we knew she was above average. Didn't know how good she was until we really, really tried her. But so we give her a bit of time, and she won her first race. Haven't even been to the trials. Yeah, she just snuck up the fence, and yeah, so I knew she was good.
Hayley Marie has got a split one away from the fence and is roaring along the inside. Hayley Marie is going to beat, and photos here, comics.
She won a Messinic Land, which we'll talk about in a moment, but throughout your 7 or 8 years full-time training, you've often made raids to the coast. What do you like about that circuit?
I just love the lifestyle there. Yeah, and there's 4 race meetings in 10 days, and great people, and great place to race. It's a big trip for us to get there. That's 2 days to get there.
Yeah.
12 hours, over 12 hours travelling. But once you're there, it's good, nice and relaxed, pretty casual, and yeah, it's just good racing. Just love it. Wet tracks, which seem to suit our horses. So, look forward to this next meetings coming up.
Yep, that day she won the Messinic Land, Rebecca was aboard, so it was a pretty special occasion, wasn't it? Because whilst stake-wise, I think it's worth 20,000. Might not be the biggest race you've won, but it's an important race.
Yep, it's got a bit of history, that race. So yeah, we just dropped back last, and which I quite often do, and some of these, especially over the coast, I don't know. Some people say the West Coast is a front-running track. I disagree. I'd rather sit back last and take off early kind of thing. But that's what we done here, and I believe actually Rebecca outrode Walshy that day. I think he was on our Alchemist for Kevin Moores, and she went early and couldn't get us. So it was been a great ride.
Our Optimist charging home out wide. Elusive Tracy and Hayley Marie. Hayley Marie, Elusive Tracy boots back on the inside of it. Hayley Marie wins the Messinic Land. Hayley Marie.
Do you think that's a little bit about the track here at Riverton? It's a bit undulating, and you were saying before, often you like to see your horses make a sustained run from, say, the 600 as opposed to earlier in the race.
Yeah, I kind of, maybe, I don't know whether it's the way I train, I kind of teach them to just drop the bit and, you know, kind of run home. So seems to suit my style of training and the style of track, a bit undulating. So, you know, it's, you know, in the heavy going, some of these races are long races. So, you know, if you get them doing too much early, you know, you could fall in the hole.
Kelvin, you must have thought a lot of her because you took her on a northern campaign which included a Group 1 Captain Cook Stakes, and she finished 4th.
Yeah, that was a great run there. It was only a second up run, and it would have been good to get another race into her. She went really well. I think she only finished a length and a bit from the winner. And that was a really tidy field there.
Jelinski, Prince is in front, coming after Hayley Marie. Authentic Paddy still there. Soriano's arriving, going to be too late though. At the line, Jelinski, Prince, I think has just got the bobbin. Jonathan Parks reckons he has. Second over as they went across would have been Authentic Paddy. Then there's photos for third. Soriano flying home, and right with it also was Hayley Marie. She gave a great sight.
Jelinski, Prince won it, but it was a deep race.
Oh, it was, yeah, some very good horses in that race. Soriano, so Authentic Paddy, I think, was in it, and it was a top field.
Deep race.
Yeah, and she either come home, I think it was about 32 seconds for the last 600, which was
Well, it's as good as they go, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so that was huge thrill, and then she raced a couple of weeks later. I think she got 4th again, and
Manawatu,
yeah, probably just a little bit unlucky. I think, probably quite didn't get going when she should have. But then she just, we had trouble with soundness, and we tried to get it right, and you start chasing it, and you never quite catch it, and she fractured a cannon bone after that Scenic Land. That was the first of her injuries.
Yep.
And so she had 6 months doing nothing, and it was nearly, I think it was about 11 months or so till she raced again, and that was just before the Captain Cook. And then she done suspensory and had bone chips on her sesamoid, and got to the stage where she just wouldn't let down. So unfortunately had to retire her.
So the best horse you've trained, but also one of the greatest disappointments in your training career?
Yeah, it is, but you kind of get mentally prepared for all that sort of stuff, for the disappointments, because we've been around animals for a long time, and even racing, before even training, you still had horses, and anything can happen, and it normally does. So you kind of get a bit mentally prepared for what could happen, even though it's very disappointing. But you kind of take it on the chin.
So you bought her at the same time as you bought Timmy Tyler, who provided you with your biggest win, the Winter Cup. Lightning doesn't normally strike twice like that.
Yeah, that's one of those lucky days, I think. I think it's only been an hour apart. I bought them, and he just looked a real athletic-looking horse to me. And what a great horse he's been, right from 2-year-old. Won his first race as a 2-year-old, and still 100% sound today.
Timmy Tyler leads ahead. Comanche Gold's ahead away. Timmy Tyler kicking strongly for Jake Lowry. Leads half a length and is going to win the Greenwood Amberley Cup. Timmy Tyler won it.
Now the Amberley Cup's been good to you, and he's been good in it.
Yep, he's won it, and I've won it 3 times.
Yep.
And it's been probably my biggest successful race. I won it 3 times, which is a big effort, going to Riverton, taking on quite often North Island horses coming down. So it's always a hard race to win.
Yeah.
But I feel thankful I've won it 3 times.
Yeah, and Timmy provided you with that, but your biggest win definitely came in the Winter Cup. Let's talk about the build-up towards that. I think it was the 118th running of it, and his form going into that race was exemplary, but he was still 50 to 1.
Yeah, he's running good races. He kind of horse, he kind of over-raced a lot, and he used to beat himself a lot. If he just dropped a bit and sprinted home like he should, he probably would have won 20 races, but get him in the small fields and over races, and just used to undo himself. So he was running good races. I think his lead-up race was at Oamaru. I think he might have been 4th or 5th that day. It was a fair run, and then going into the Winter Cup, you kind of, I knew he was well, but like all the rest of the horses, they were all well, otherwise they wouldn't be there. And we were, probably hopeful more than overconfident. We knew he had a good chance, but just didn't want to get ahead of ourselves really. But everything just fell into place that day for us.
Who it might have been, whatever it was, it's over. They're racing to a perfect start in the Winter Cup. And Illuminati's going to take up the early lead over Chemo Sabi and Electronic Motion. One away fourth is Authentic Paddy from Biologist Wide, then Timmy Tyler.
The race just couldn't have worked out better. You put young Jake Lowry on, so you gave him his biggest success in his career, but he could not have positioned that horse better.
No, just had a good barrier draw and his big field, which Timmy used to race better into big fields because they're going harder, and he settled better. So nice run and just kind of peeled out when he needed to and clear run. No one come around and smothered him in and didn't lose any momentum, and he just let down and just, unbelievable.
Timmy Tyler made the lead though. Big day coming up for Jake Lowry. First Capolo, now the Winter Cup. Timmy Tyler won it. Beat Illuminati.
Have you got a budget when you go? Are you strict to that?
Cheaper the better. Well, my best, my best start to sales, I bought Hayley Marie for $1,000 and Timmy for $3,000, and I always say, we can go out to sales and spend a few $100,000 on a well-bred horse and a good chance of a run, and is that clever, or do you go to the sales and buy the cheap one that no one else has seen and ends up being a group horse? That's probably what I get my satisfaction out of doing.
You talked about family involvement before. Now you're in partnership with your daughter Amy. It meant a lot to her, and I'm picking the day you sort of said to her, hey, this is us going forward. Must have meant a bit to you too.
Yeah, it certainly did. She probably pushed earlier on for me to get my licence, and then she discovered boys and things like that, and all of a sudden I'm left doing it by myself. But going forward from then, she's had onto her second child now, about to pop, and 12 months or so ago, she's pretty keen. I said, oh well, should we go in partnership and just get a bit more involved, and she's really taken to it leaps and bounds, really.
He asked me, just sprung it on me one day, would you like to come into partnership? And it was my dream for many years, so we thought we'd give it a crack.
Give it a crack? You beat his personal best in the first year you were together, so that must have been a big thrill.
Yeah, massive thrill, yeah. Words can't really describe how it feels, but it was a real thrill.
Kelvin, what she brought to the operation, I suppose she's brought some younger eyes and some real enthusiasm.
Yes, she is, and you never stop learning from whether it's older ones or the younger ones. There's always something coming through, and she's been pretty much involved on the farm as well, so the stockmanship comes through, and it's been really good.
What about riding wise? Have you ever been involved in that, or are you more a logistics person?
No, no. Dad was strictly against me riding.
Right.
From a young age. Had a pony, but that was about it.
That was about it, yeah.
No more for me.
Yeah. So that means that you've got to organise all of the other stuff. Now you have the barn here and you bring the horses over to the tie-ups, obviously. So who does the worksheets, and what is your daily routine? Not at the moment because there's other things going on. We'll talk about that in a sec, but what's your main role?
Just keeping everything working, everything running smoothly, trying to instruct riding instructions, bringing horses around, mucking out, just your general hosing, just general keep of the horses.
But you love it.
Thrive off it.
Yeah. You've remarried. Let's talk about that day. Venetia.
Yep, that was a great day. 28th of March, I'm sure it was. And
you say that with a lot of confidence.
Nah, that was great. Got married at Queenstown. Kind of known Venetia for probably 4 years, I suppose. And she's the mainstay in the stable. Not really a horse person when I met her. Certainly an animal lover, but she probably does all the hard graft behind the scenes and does a lot of the feeding and mucking out and those sorts of jobs that no one else wants to do, but she's always first to do it, so I certainly appreciate that. And she's a beautiful woman. She's really good for me, keeps me on the track now.
Venetia, if I said to you 6 or 7 years ago you'd be at the Wingatui races, owning a couple of winners and helping your husband train a horse, you'd be sending me off to the white coat barn, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. I'd never set foot on a racecourse before in my life until I met Kelvin.
What about your background though, because it is animal based?
Yes, I used to work at Natureland in Nelson, Tahuna. Absolutely loved the job. Used to do a lot of food prep and clean out enclosures, and even at one stage I would have a monkey that would sit on my shoulder while I would be feeding animals. I just absolutely loved it.
Well, mucking out's become part of your life too, because now you're in a rather large stable with your husband after about 4 odd years of courting, I suppose?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
How special?
Very special, very lucky. Feel very blessed to be a part of this and meeting Kelvin and his family, and yeah.
She's really supportive and, you know, got on really, really well. Got a happy life, certainly a happy life, and we get on good, and, you know, we travel away together most of the time and enjoy what we're doing. A few road trips with the horses, and yep, she's always filling up water buckets and doing all those sorts of jobs that, you know, no one seems to notice. So, no, we fit in well as a team.
Got a couple of other ladies in your life outside of Venetia. I'm talking horses wise, and they've done a massive job. Flying Sardine. Yeah, well, they were just one of those fairy tale stories, really. I remember I was at the Gore races, and Kevin Myers rang me up actually, and he said, "Oh, you looking for any more horses, boy?" I said, "Oh, kind of, you know, anyway." Oh, he said, "Oh, I've got this wee thing here." I can't really say what the language he said, but he said, "Oh, she won a couple of races down here for." She's not very big, but so anyway, she come down, and no, he was right. She wasn't very big, and you put her in the paddock, and Stewie Higgins was with me at the time. He put her in the back paddock, and she trotted around there, and I reckon she had a stride about 10 metres long, it looked like it. I remember saying to Stu, I said, "She'll run, mate. We'll just give her a bit of time, I reckon she'll be right." So, but yeah, of course you don't really know, you're just hoping. So we give her a few months off and let her mature a bit, and then we fired her up, and yeah, she worked up, you know, seemed to work up pretty good on the track. She had a couple of jump outs with Kevin up north, and I think she went reasonable up there, so she was pretty well educated, like all his horses are. Just love getting horses off Kevin. When he rings up and says he's got a horse for me, I never turn them down because they're always well educated and good, genuine horses, so really thank him for that. So anyway, yeah, we took her to the races, and she took a few starts to get her maiden victory.
Yeah, first start was at Oamaru. I remember she was probably about 15 lengths off the leader at the 600, and I remember saying to someone beside me, I said, "God, she's better than this." I know she is. So I think Kevin rode her that day, and he hooked her at the outside, and she just absolutely roared. I think she got about second or third. So from then on, it kind of just went on. But yeah, just been a wee horse, and needed a bit of luck in the races, I suppose, being a small horse. And yeah, she took a wee bit to win a race, but once she got there, didn't really stop.
Flying Sardine and Mac Murdoch running on. It's Wagner. Waimanni Bell getting up on the inside. Deeper out, Flying Sardine and Mac Murdoch. Flying Sardine's going to get a maiden win. Flying Sardine over the top.
She's not one-dimensional, is she?
Nah, she kind of, she hasn't gone bad races in top of the ground either, really. So, yeah, like most good horses, they kind of adapt. But, yeah, she's just tough. Honestly, she'd be the mentally toughest horse I've ever had. God. So you wouldn't want to pick a scrap with her. When she's in a mood, you go with her. Trust me, I've seen her lay out a couple of girls, just cow kicking them. But yeah, on race day, she's a nightmare.
Well, you took it to the toughest place, the hardest place for a horse, I'd imagine. The white handicap at Trentham. The track doesn't get much tougher than that.
Yeah, I've got to be quite honest, I thought she might have been just a run short that day. I actually just took her up to fill the float up, actually. I took Little Miss Swiss. I thought she was just a shoo-in, actually. But anyway, as racing happens, there's no rules in racing. And no, she just dug in that deep, and yeah, she won really well.
Here she is from Riverton. Flying Sardine on the outside, raced up, hit the front here. In the white handicap now, Mornicky is trying hard. She's owning Trentham. Flying Sardine, look at the wee girl, give it to them now. Big win. Flying Sardine by 3.
She won you a Scenic Land as well, so a couple of those in the bank. And yeah, she's a very valuable commodity, so much so you've taken the opportunity to try and enhance her value.
Yeah, I'm not scared of having a go. I've done it all my life, really. If I think something could happen, I'll have a go. And you know, I've always said you got to be prepared to fail to succeed. So I thought, well, you know, I'll send her over to Australia and try and if I can win a nice race there. You know, not really looking at racing against the best horses over there, but if we're going to win a nice race and you know, hopefully could sell her as a broodmare, we can buy Flying Spur, and she's got two lots of black type. I thought, you know, could be worth some dollars.
So she's out of a Zabeel mare?
Out of a Zabeel mare, yeah.
So it should be pretty sought after.
Yeah, I've got a few inquiries about her, but you know, I haven't really been looking at selling her at that stage. But I thought, well, you know, I'll do the best for me and for her, and so rang up Rachel Frost, and she informed me that she'd make it over there. So, well, let's have a go. So that's what we done.
Right outside of this one church town, there's a gold dirt road to a whole lot of nothing. Got a deed to the land, but it ain't my ground. This is God's country. We pray for rain and thank Him when it's falling, 'cause it brings a grain and a little bit of money. We put it back in a plate, I guess that's why they call it God's country.
Is he one of the toughest competitors to beat out on the racetrack?
Yeah, he most probably is.
His strike rate would tell you he is, because in 8 or 9 years of basically full-time training, over 200 winners.
Yeah, it's massive. He's getting over 30 a year, and majority of them, he's an owner-trainer. A lot of them, he hasn't got many outside horses. He prefers not to. He's got a very good owner in Terry Lyons, and they've got a real good relationship. So Kelvin loves him, but I don't think he can be too bothered training for too many other outsiders. But for the credit of a lot of the horses he owns himself, he puts a hell of a lot into it.
Easy, mate.
Yeah, sitting behind him, mate.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's good horses.
Just in line.
Maybe he shouldn't be here, because I was looking at him out here, he's really tightened up since Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are good mates, you can see that.
Yeah.
What about when you clash in a race, and there's one famous photo of you two on Melbourne Cup Day? You got the better of him that day, flicker of gold.
Yeah, I did that day. It's not the first time either there, Greg. But yeah.
Beat Kilowatt, who's a fair horse.
Very good horse. Kilowatt, very good horse. No, that was a good result. I quite enjoyed it, I can still do.
Yeah.
But no, if I can't win, I always say I hope Kelvin can.
Yeah.
And I think vice versa, he thinks the same. If he's not going good enough to get up, I think he starts kicking mine home, so yeah.
PGG Rights and Real Estate South Otago Cup about to get underway.
Good luck, man.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Set to run. Racing, Black Label came out very quickly. Irish Exclusive second. Raise You 10 on the outside of Lock and Aura. In second last, Just Push Play and Dreaming Easy is last of all. Just Push Play and Dreaming Easy is last 3 lengths away and some 8 lengths off the leader. Black Label up to the home turn. Black Label in front from Raise You 10. Irish Excuse. Lock and Aura gains an inside runner. Now Just Push Play comes to the outside and Dreaming Easy is last of all around the turn. Black Label in front. Here's Just Push Play and Raise You 10. Lock and Aura's into the clear. Just Push Play out wider. Lock and Aura's going with him. Black Label the inside, then Raise You 10. Irish Excuse. Lock and Aura hit the lead. Just Push Play tries to get Lock and Aura. Lock and Aura still in front. Just Push Play the outside. Lock and Aura, Just Push Play clear of Raise You 10. Lock and Aura's doing the best, and Lock and Aura will win the cup. Lock and Aura from second, Just Push Play, Raise You 10, third, Irish Excuse, Black Label, and last, Dreaming Easy.
K and V Tyler in this one. That means you get the lot.
Yeah. Oh, well, hey, that's 2 in a row we get the lot.
No, good on you, mate. That's awesome.
Oh, it's good. You know, this horse come down from Rawdon Burgess and done all the good work.
Did all the work,
horse.
yep.
He trialled it.
She trialled up really good up there, didn't she?
Yeah, she had 4 trials for 4 seconds, and you know, sometimes I get these horses from these guys. They've done all the work, and I get the rewards, and you know, I certainly appreciate what they've done. You know, Wellfield Stud, and they've sent some nice horses down.
Oh well, you keep doing that with them, and they'll keep sending them.
Oh well, it's, you know, it's looking after everybody else, Greg, and you know, you look after each other, I should say, and
that's the way it works.
Yeah, it's a happy life then, isn't it? Hey, and
well, it's a happy day. You better go back and bring her in.
Yeah. Thank you, mate. Buddy. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks, Alice.
Your philosophy around racing horses, and in particular ownership, is completely against what probably 99% of the trainers would tell me. You can't have shares in horses because you can't make money that way.
Hey, look, all my life, if they're going left, I'll go right, and most time I get it right. So, same again, I reckon there's no money in training outside horses, but, you know, I get more success, probably, you know, more rewards, I suppose, my own horses. But saying that, I do have a backstop with my farm, and if you didn't have the farm, you've probably got no option to train outside horses, and that pays the wages. And to be fair, I've still got outside horses that pay the wages, because, you know, you don't win every week. It's not that easy. But yeah, I'll probably get more out of having my own, yeah, especially if you get a good one.
You've got some good owners though. Terry Lyons comes to mind, but there's plenty of other people that have supported you, and a few have tried to get in your stable, but you don't want to get too big, do you?
No, I don't want to get too big, but yeah, Terry, he's a great supporter. I couldn't get a better owner actually. He's a great man, he's great to me, and you know, I'm great back to him. And yeah, he's one of the better ones. I've had a couple of bad eggs, and that kind of, you know, upsets you a bit, you know. So that's probably what puts me off training outside horses. So, but yeah, my son, he's set up a few syndicates and got some good owners in there, and the local racing club at Carriers Arms here, they've got a few horses with me as well, and they're a great bunch of owners, and you know, and lucky enough they've had some good success and had a few wins. They've got some quite nice horses coming up at the moment. So Kilowatt's one that's probably going to go ahead and be a really nice horse for him. He's, you know, just a young horse, and a lot of fun with that horse, I think. And Tilly Dunnage, that was a great thrill. You know, it's the old Tilly. I think she won 4 or 5 races, all of them here at Riverton in the mud. Just loved it, and yeah, it's certainly a big thrill when you get a big group of owners of 20 plus, and you know, the horse wins on the home track. It's pretty rewarding.
Tilly Dunnage, a Brilliante Rosse, Tilly Dunnage. Down on the inside is Gaza the Guru, still coming home pretty well. Tilly's on top here. Down to the line, Tilly Dunnage will beat Gaza the Guru.
Joined by Kelvin Tyler, trainer, and you said to us before the race that's exactly how you wanted it ridden.
Yeah, no, they've done a good job, and yeah, to be honest, the racing club owned it here, so yeah, it's a big thrill for them to win here, and kind of been set for the last 6-8 weeks, you know, this race. So yeah, it's good that it's worked.
Must give you a massive thrill to hear all those owners roaring the stand down.
Oh, it does. It might only be a maiden 2,000 metre race, but yeah, they're happy as Larry tonight, and I guess the carriers aren't. Could be free drinks here tonight, I'm picking. So yeah, no, it's a great result.
You excited what you've got in the barn now?
Yep, yeah, I've got a few young ones coming up at the moment. Some quite nice. I've actually got a half to Nashville, quite like him. Yep. Yeah, Horseboy Sacred Falls just getting broken in at Steve's at the moment. Yeah, he's going to take a bit of time, but that's all right. I've got time. I don't care how long it takes. I'll give him all the time he needs. And he's quite exciting. But yeah, got a nice Procea filly there. My brother's goes quite nice, and Perrin Canto, 2 or 3 old now. He's had a couple of runs for a couple of really good races at Riverton, and so yeah, there's always something coming through, and yeah, but you never know until you try them. So you just got to make sure you give them the chance, and you know, don't go to the races unless they're ready, really. So. Looking forward to the next year or 2 ahead.
He's done such a good job in such a short period of time. There's no stopping him at the moment, and he appears to have an even better stock in the barn now.
Yeah, but he just thrives what he's doing, and he just loves what he's doing. He's got a good wife, he's got good staff, he's got a training partnership with Amy. He can go away, he can relax, he knows work's getting done at home. Like I say, he's got very good staff he can rely on, and that makes it a lot easier.
It appears to me that you're tarred by the same brush in respect that family's a massive part of your life. Your boy's leading the horses out today. Yep. Kelvin, his wife Venetia now, heavily involved. Amy obviously in the partnership. You're a big family, aren't you?
Yep. No,
and big on family.
Big, very close family. Yeah, involves all of our kids, our grandkids. Yeah, that's how we were brought up from Mum and Dad back in Matamata. Mum and Dad never went out without us kids. We were always involved wherever they went. We had great school holidays. Used to go to the old beach batch in Papamoa in Mount Maunganui years ago, and in a minor.
Yeah.
Dirt roads. So, yeah, we never...
Good times though.
Yeah, we never got nothing's been handed to us.
Yeah.
We've all had to work for what we've got, and we appreciated it.
We've got a real close family.
Yeah.
Right from my brothers to what, like, some people might say it's unusual we're that close, but we're really good mates.
Yeah.
You know, we can say anything to each other and no one's going to throw the torch kind of thing. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah, it's brilliant. You know, we're a number one supporter of each other, and someone's doing good, well, good on them.
Yep.
Everybody has their day.
Are you like most trainers? You strive to have a better quality of horse, therefore getting into the feature races is one of those goals as well.
Yeah, well, it's always a goal to get horses like that. But at the same time, it's nice to see horses that haven't done so well previously, and then come out and do something, even just in not big days, But every winner is a grinner. So yeah.
What about him training in partnership with Amy? When we talked to her about it, she got quite emotional, and when we talked to him about it, he got quite emotional. So they're a very close-knit family, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely wonderful. I think it's the best thing that's ever happened, getting Amy on board. I mean, she's amazing. She's got the same kind of animal stockmanship as him, and she's very passionate about horses. She's very kind. The staff just absolutely adore her. So, she's having a baby. She'll be missed, but I know she'll be back, and and in a few years' time, she'll be running the show, and we'll be in the Gold Coast, hopefully.
Life's been good, Kelvin, but it's had its challenges, and there's still plenty to look forward to, isn't there?
Yep. There's still a lot ahead of us, hopefully. So, you just got to keep looking forward and don't look back. If you look back, you go backwards. You look forward, you go forward. So, I'm always looking for the next opportunity or the next horse that's going to take us somewhere, or whatever it may be.
Outside of this one church town, there's a gold dirt road to a whole lot of nothing. Got a deed to the land, but it ain't my ground. This is God's country. We pray for